Ha! We are live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day, wherever you are in the world, whenever you are watching this. Hello, and coffee cheers. Welcome to this week's edition of Coffee Chat with me. I am Catherine Oster, your chat, coffee chat specialist. and This week, I want to touch on the topic of success. It's just really something that has been coming up for me lately that I have been looking at for myself in all different areas of my life. Um, and it really sprung from this process of journaling that I have been diving into the last couple of months. Now, I was never a person who journaled before. I never felt like I had time. Like, I'm not a writer. Um, there was it just felt like it was kind of too airy-fairy for me, which might sound really weird because I'm kind of an airy-fairy person in the sense that I know there's magic. And anyway, it was never anything I chose. Hey, mom, good morning. Who the heck are you today? It was never anything I chose before. Now, if you're on my email list, I sent an email last night about this process that is going on for me in my business right now. I the metaphor I could use to describe it is transplant. I'm transplanting my business. Good morning, Tanya. Um, and it's uncomfortable and it feels uncertain. And the journaling process is something, hi, Jackie G, that is the words that come out onto the journal are magic. They're words that I wouldn't think of if I wasn't getting present and journaling and writing them down. And the questions that I've been using in the journal have came from a mentor that I'm working with right now. And she's really inviting me to look at these different aspects of my life and pick out the themes and the things that really are who I am and how I can incorporate that into all areas of my life, including business. And so, this whole topic of success is like what used to be successful for me, and I was achieving it in business, is not actually that anymore. It's totally changing. Um, Something that's really changing about it is the word sustainable pops. Success for me is something like sustainable is success, something that is can go forward into the future and so more long term. And I talked about this on not last week's coffee chat, but the coffee chat before about hey Annalise, good morning, about pivot points in your life and how they can change your perspective. And so my perspective has changed on success, and sustainable is something. Now, this is funny because things are kind of tying together. When I talked about human design last week, last coffee chat with Annalise, the signature theme of your type and I'm a manifester. The signature theme of my type is peace. So peace is one of the energies that is success for me. And I never realized that before. I would have peace in certain areas of my life, but it was not something that rang through hugely in some areas. And one of them was business. I mean, it was good, but there wasn't this sense of peace, especially when I tapped into the future of it. Um, And so, how human design can allow you to unlock and open up information about yourself. Um, so, peace was not something that was in that. business portion for me before because I was always, I would say that I felt like I was hustling, but then I also felt like I was working hard, and that was success for me back then, but it's not anymore. Um, and success changes throughout your life as you experience different things. So it's it can be a really eye-opening, perspective opening process to sit down and look at what is success for you right now. Whether that's in your business, with your body, in relationships, what is success for you? There is what society tells us is successful. There was a period of time where success was if you were married and had kids and you had the white picket fence. That was a successful home housewife life. But that's not actually successful for a lot of people, but a lot of people strive to achieve that thinking that you would feel that success when you got it. And that's not actually true. For my horse, success for competing at dressage was to achieve showing and scores at like fourth level and beyond. And I did achieve that with my gelding, um, in 2014, 2015, but it didn't feel like success to me looking back. Like it was a lot of hard work. And I'm not saying sometimes you don't need to dig deep and get it. Dig deep to get there. It is uncomfortable and it does require some digging in sometimes, but it didn't really feel that successful to me. It didn't have this, it was like surface level. This is another perspective thing. Like it was success on the surface level, but it wasn't the energy beneath. And so with my mare now, um, I cannot work with her the same way that I could work with my gelding. And she actually has shown me more of what success with her is, which is this um, communion, working with her, finding the peace within the power that she has, that her and I can have together, which is weird, but we're still going to be, and success for me in this show season is getting that in the show ring, in front of the judge. If we flub up some of our movements, I'm okay with that. But my target of success is like to achieve that energy, that feeling with her. So I would say a lot of success for me right now is the energy, like how things feel, how I'm being, not the surface level, how it's showing up. Um, so we might flub up some of our movements, but if I've maintained and been able to get to this feeling with her in the ring, I'm okay with scoring in the 50s, because maybe we botched up a couple of movements, but overall, the overall was greater here. Yeah, Jackie, success for me is anywhere in my world where there is an expansiveness. Yes, expansive like space and growth. Yeah, and being an allowance. Yeah, allowing people to be who they are and express themselves. And also, in turn, that allows you to be who you are and expressing yourself, not this feeling of contraction and control, which is exactly, Jackie, you just put words. So with my gelding, we were showing fourth level, but it was contraction and control. And we were scoring in like the mid to high 60s, which is, it's good. But it didn't have that feeling of space, expansive communion. Yes. Thank you, Jackie. And with my body, success for me with my body used to be I need to lose 30 pounds and I need to be able to fit back into my size 8 jeans. That was my definition of success. Just that did not feel very fun. And I felt like I was always forcing and fighting against my body. So, getting to the place of allowance with my body, allowance for me was learning how to love my body the way that it was, be grateful for it, because it could still do a lot of things. Like, why did I decide that it had to look a certain way? Um, it could still do all the things. And she had stamina and like so getting to allowance with my body. Now success for me with my body is strength, like feeling strong. Um, it's not about the shape, it's about that feeling and being. And success for me with my body is creating a future where that strength can is sustainable, like a sustainable strength into the future. Um, I think I talked about this on coffee chats before with some of you. When we traveled to Kauai in January, I met Dolores, who forever showed me a new level of success. She was 92 and lives on the island herself, drives herself around, does her own laundry, her own groceries. She travels to and from her home in Washington on her own. And that I'm like, that for me is success with my body. And that's what I would like now. If that means my body is a different shape and maybe a slightly different size and I would like it, that's okay. But that's success. Um, Success in relationships is growth and allowance, allowing myself to be who I am and not trying to make other people be comfortable with who I am or trying to make them happy, but contributing, and allowing me to show up as me. So it's been this whole journey of, redefining what success is and looking at it and getting curious about it. And so I wonder, have you been looking at this for yourself? Some of you have, I know you have. And have you dared to write it down? Um, and then it's uncomfortable, but look at the areas in your life where you have maybe misidentified and misapplied what success is for you. And yeah, I wonder. So, if you would like to dive deeper into this topic, I invite you to join me later this month. I don't remember the date exactly, but I'm doing a Create Club training and we're going to be talking about success, how you can get more clarity of what that is for you, and then action steps you can start to take to cultivate that, acknowledge that, and have more of that in your life. So, there'll be a link sometime somewhere. Keep your eyes open if this is of interest to you. Send me a message. I'll make sure to get you that information. And thank you for joining me. Thank you for showing up. Coffee cheers. Bye bye for now.